For our project today, we are going to create a shaded pastel flag. For this project, you're going to need a white crayon, some pastels, a damp sponge, and a black piece of paper. This project is going to use pastels to create a shaded flag that gives the illusion of having action of the flag blowing in the wind. We're going to start our project by drawing the outline of the flag in crayon. So first we're going to draw 4 vertical lines at an angle. So you're going to do one here, 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 and here. You want them to be kind of separate. You want to have a little bit of space on the top and the bottom in between each one so that they have a little bit to wave with. In this first one, this is going to be where we're going to put our blue of our stars. So you're going to go about halfway down and you're going to do an arched line like a smiley face. So this area is going to be where we're going to do our stars. And while we're here, we're going to go ahead and do stars. And these, we're just going to draw like a star. You can do them kind of big. And if you have room to do a second row, go ahead and do a second row. And depending on the size, if they're large enough, you can use your pastel and color them in white. Or you can go ahead and color them in white with your crown. Either way will work. Okay, so once you have your stars done, we're going to draw the lines of our flag. Now we want it to look like it's flowing in the wind. So we're going to start first with this row, and we're going to do 4 lines per row. And we don't want to do straight because we want them to give the illusion of being round. So we're going to start with one connected to this line. So we're going to do one that looks like a frowny face. We're going to go up and do one above it, and then we're going to do 2 below it. And the last one may just be right here at the edge. So you have 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, once you have this row, we can go back and finish this one because you want to connect your lines. So here, where it is here, we're going to do our frowny line, and we won't see this one because it would be underneath. So once you have this row, then you know where to start this one. You start with this line, and you do an arched one like a frown, here, here, and we wouldn't see this one, but we would have one up here. That's where our 4th line comes from. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing, we've got a pattern here. So start with this one, arched, arched, arched. We don't see this one up here, so we're going to see one down here. And then we do the final line here. So start with this one, smiley face, smile, smile. We don't see this one, so we'd have one up here. So this is a basis for our shading. So we're going to start with the white, and then we will do the red. So go ahead and don't worry about this one here because it's easier to start where we have a full row of colors. So you're going to start with, easiest to start with the full color. So when we do this, we're going to use the gray and the white. You don't want to use a lot of gray because we want our white to be pretty bold. We just want to give that slight illusion of going around because it's bright for the highlight on the top, and then it gets dark as it goes to the edge. So we're going to just put a very light line of gray, very light. We're not going to put very much of gray, and you're going to do that every other block on this one. So here, skip one, and then we're going to put another one here. Then the rest of it is going to be all white. Now, you do not have to put so much pastel that you've got this big chalky surface of powder. You can see white, you can see black through it because we're going to do some blending. Okay, so when you do the white, you want to blend from the white to the gray. So you just smooth it in. You're massaging it into the black of your paper. You're going to do the white first. And you almost kind of want to go like the roundness of the flag. Then when you get the white in both areas, then you're going to blend this gray into it. See how it kind of gives that shadow of being round? Same thing, gray, blend into it. See how we didn't need very much, but you can still look like it's, I'll get a little closer. You can still look like it's a little shadowed. You don't need a lot. Now, if it looks like, oh, I didn't do enough, you can always go back in and add a little bit of gray more if you didn't think you did enough, and then check it and see. Okay, that looks better. Okay, once you have your white, the next row is going to be opposite. So if this was a white, this would be a red. So this would be white, so you go opposite. So this one, I'm gonna go the opposite, the next one up. So I'm gonna put a little row of gray, skip one, little row of gray, then I'm going to do a full row of white, then now my hand may have some gray on it, so before I do my white, this is what the sponge of water is for. You can just wipe it. It is really damp, and then your hand will be nice and clean. Go do the white again. You don't want to do this if your finger's wet. So if it's wet from the damp sponge, go ahead and dry your hand off. Once I blend the white, then I can blend that gray in. Okay, now you would continue this pattern. So this one would be white, this one would be white. Then I do like a checkerboard. This one would be white, this one would be white. Now this one would just have one white and one red. Okay, so that's how that one would go. Now when we do the red, we do it a little different. The red is going to have, we'll do this one here. It's going to have red on the edge. And then in the middle, you're going to have a little bit of white because you want that highlight. Then you're going to blend red to white. So opposite of this, you're going to do the red, red, and then you're going to slowly blend the two together because you just want a highlight of the red to white. So when you're doing this one, you would do, I would do all my red at one time. So I do this red down here too. Do a little white. Now, sometimes I see people when they go to blend, they want to go all the way across. You will lose your stuff. Remember I said, do all your red first. So this whole thing, just like when you did your white, do all your red first. And then go back, do your white. Now if you feel like you lost your highlight, maybe, oh, I lost my highlight here, you could go back in on top, add a little bit more white, blend it again. You can always go back and fix, but if you go too much, sometimes it's hard to fix. Add a little bit more highlight and blend. So you're going to continue that all the way through. So this would be red, red, red. Now don't do this because that's where the white marks. I'm just showing you for the sake of knowing what you're doing. So in the end, again, you're going to have opposites, like a checkerboard, reds, has the darks to lights, opposite for the white, darks to lights, because the middle is going to be a highlight all the way through. Now with your blue, you're going to color the whole area in blue all the way around your stars, the whole way around. Then white, when you get to this edge here, you're going to take a black just at the edge. You're going to blend your blue. Now, I wouldn't want to blend my blue with my red finger. Clean it off a little bit with the sponge. If I need to wipe it on a towel, you're going to blend all your blue. Now I go all the way to the edge. I'm just saving for the sake of time. Go around your stars. Get all your blue blended. Once you have it all the way blended, all the way out, I'm just not doing this. Once you have it all the way blended, then you're going to go in this edge and you're going to smooth that black in. Because this is the angle where it ripples. This you wouldn't worry about. So this would just be all solid blue. You wouldn't do black on this side. And you wouldn't do black on the bottom. Okay? So then you'd have the look of dark to light blue. So that is how we do a shaded pastel flag.